Hey there, Mike Barbanica, Antioch City Council District 2. I wanted to get this video out to you and discuss 3 or 4 items. First one is going to be recruitment of a new city manager. Second one, police department staffing. Third one, press information going out to the public, specifically the press. And the fourth one, the methadone clinic. I'll give you an update on that. Okay, so let's start with earlier this last month. I believe it was June 30th. I had received information that the previous city manager had resigned his position and given 2 weeks. There had already been a meeting scheduled, a special council meeting, to discuss the city manager's position on what was supposed to occur at 10 in the morning on July 10th. The city manager resigned, and his last day was the 14th. And as a result, that day in writing, I submitted to the city attorney's office that we keep that special meeting for the 10th and change the agenda item to make it authorizing the immediate recruitment of a new city manager. The city attorney reached out to the council members, and I was told that there wasn't 2 other council members that supported that, so that was put on hold. I wanted to do it at the time because I felt, why wait 3 weeks? We already had the meeting scheduled. We could have just swapped the agenda items and saved that 3 weeks and get that thing rolling. I've since requested that that is placed on the next agenda for the next council meeting. We'll see if that happens. Item 2, recruit. Well, I covered that. PD staffing. So the police department staffing is a very big concern of mine. I've been in contact with the chief almost on a weekly basis, and I am told that staffing levels are fine. But what I've requested for the next meeting is that the police department come in and give an actual report to the public, to the council, and in turn the public, so everybody can see what our staffing levels are, not just in patrol, but all of the specialized units, traffic, anything gang related, any specialized assignments, detectives, etc. I want to know where the staffing levels actually are, and I want the public to know as well. Next one, press information. I would also like the police department to give a presentation on press information, how it goes out, what our policy is, so the public understands, and who is behind the decision for information to go out or not go out. I get calls from the press on a regular basis that information isn't flowing as easily as it should be. I thought we were past this, but I would like to know from the police department what the policy is, who is in charge of this, and who set this policy. Is there anybody behind putting this information out or not putting this information out? And lastly, the methadone clinic. Methadone clinic has been something that, even though it's not in my district, it's right next to it and spills over into the district. So it's essentially right there. It spills definitely into several parts of District 2. And so it has been a concern of mine. I've treated it all along from day one, just like it was in the heart of the district. Unfortunately, we've gone through, since being elected, at least 3 managers there. The first set of management staff was outstanding. They were working with me. They were helping to clean it up. Every 15 minutes, they had patrols in the area. I go out there almost daily into around the methadone clinic. And that gentleman was great. Unfortunately, he passed away. The next manager that came in seemed to be very overwhelmed and was trying to work with us on it. And we were getting code enforcement involved. But at the time, there was a switch with the city manager's office, and I was not getting the support from staff that I had hoped to. I did get a commitment sometime back out of the city manager's office that it would be addressed. And for a short time it was, but that seemed to have fallen by the wayside. So since that time, I've continued to go out there. I've been out there myself and had people try to sell me drugs. So I'm out there daily. I see what's going on out there. Sometimes I'm out late at night. I've been out at 1 a.m. out there driving through, and I've been out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it is a problem. So what I've done is the public wasn't aware of this, over the last couple of months, I had somebody local in the area sending me photos almost daily of this problem as I continued to address it with the city. And as things were continuing to get worse and worse, somebody local there, and I'm sure you're watching right now, and I appreciate what you did, they would take photos and they were sending me those photos that I was able to pass on to members of the city. So this has been something where I'm very appreciative of the members of the community around that area, and you know who you are. Last week, I asked for a special meeting with the chief, the city manager, and code enforcement. And code enforcement, at my request, actually went and researched the initial agreement with the methadone clinic that everybody signed. They were able to track this down by working with the city attorney's office. Since that time, if you saw it this weekend, it was a mess. I was out there this weekend. I was out there today. Been out there almost daily and reporting information off to the city. The code enforcement division has gone out and issued notices. It's not just walking out there and pushing people along. They have to follow the law, and it's a process, but they've issued notices for the encampments or people camping out on the sidewalk out there. And that abatement, I'm told, will be completed by Wednesday. You'll also probably notice a lot of graffiti in the area. That's been turned over to code enforcement. That also they've sought out Public Works help, and they're working to abate that as well. In addition, I suggested we bring in ABC because there are stores in the area with alcohol licenses, and we see people out there drinking and hanging out and passed out on the sidewalk. So it's a work in progress. It's not something, unfortunately, with management changing over 3 times of the clinic, every time I have to start over and meet with the manager, re-explain everything to them. The previous managers have not done that. So that being the case, it's a continued work in progress. And what I explained to the city last week is once we get it back under control, we can't just leave and go focus on something else. It needs constant maintenance. And I got a commitment from the chief, the city manager, and code enforcement that they will continue with that. I was pleased that they were out there today issuing notices, and I'm very appreciative of Kurt Michael, the chief, and the city manager for assisting, and the city attorney's office as well. Hopefully this answers some questions. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me always. Mike Barbanica, Antioch City Council.